I would hope so, but
To answer your question, Brad, yes, it does. It tells you the weight of the vehicle, it tells you the speeds, of course, you know the time, because it's not time. It gives you everything you need. It's downloaded in, and there's all your figures right there. And you transfer that onto the form that the state has, and you send it in. And in my honest opinion, if you want to do it, but it's not gonna qualify, because you're not gonna get that percentage of trucks over there. I know, I've done this. And carrying it a little further, just because if it did qualify, it doesn't mean the state will give it to you. And part of your reason being over there is where you're gonna put the traffic. It's gonna go up, take a left right in front of the bachelor school, etc. So the other question is, do you want the traffic up in there? Because they're not gonna exclude Haverhill Street for you, I can tell you that. That's not gonna happen.
that's understood.
But I'm not saying don't do it, but I'm saying, let's try to save a few bucks and just borrow the equipment from Reading. I know they have it.
Chief Nolan.
I believe that was a part of Mike Sorrigan's presentation that night as well. He said part of the study had to include alternative routes. So if you are excluding from a specific location, you have to find an alternate route that's safe, and that was part of that project, I believe. Part of the information you had to send to the state, anyways.
Based on the information you just provided regarding the traffic, I think you're suggesting that at least the times that you've measured it, it's well below any 10% number.
Well, I'm not sure that we haven't taken the traffic count, but we've been focusing our attention on violations.
Mm-hmm.
And we specifically targeted trucks initially, but obviously they addressed other violations that were occurring while they were in that location. We'll have a fairly comprehensive enforcement after action report ready later in this week, so you'll have it for your meeting Monday evening.
Okay.
And you do know, Mr. Chair, and the board, pickup trucks do not count. It's anything.
Yeah, no, I think we understood that.
Yeah, no, I just didn't know.
That's all we have to say.
Okay, so currently,
Article 9.
currently the board is recommending it. Who would like to present it? And maybe we'll take some additional input and on that Monday evening revisit this, or where's everybody at this point?
Yeah, I'd like to see the report we're going to receive from the police department.
I don't mind taking it.
What?
I don't mind taking this one either, this one too.
Well, we gotta spread it out here, so.
Well, there's a lot of articles.
A lot of the CPC.
No, the CPC's doing a chunk of a month.
Oh, okay.
We got 15 on.
Sean, you wanna
I'll
take
take
this
it.
one?
I'll take it.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to 1, unless there's, oh, I'm sorry.
I'm good for 9.
Okay. Construct the Ipswich River Pavilion Park. And this is to permit the acceptance of grants and gifts to cover the additional cost of the Ipswich River Pavilion. I believe that the Hillview Commission had committed $60,000 to the project, and that money was approved a while ago. And this project is anticipated to be in the vicinity of $150,000.
120.
That's what the application for the grant is for, about $150,000.
Okay. So all what they're asking for as part of this is to have the ability to accept grants to further fund the construction of the pavilion. The sponsors, the Recreation Committee, Land Utilization Committee, and Hillview Commission. The Board of Selectmen have voted to recommend, and the Finance Committee has at least as of the printing of this, is gonna make their recommendation at town meeting. So,
Just wanted to make sure if there was any questions by the board or anything, any more additional information that we could provide it to you tonight.
well, the board's already voted to recommend it. Is there anybody in the audience that are looking for information? Mr. Yule, Mr. Jones.
Just for clarity, this, the way I understand it, Ken, is this does not ask for town funding. It merely asks the authority to accept grants or private
That's correct.
funding, whatever you want to call it.
You're gonna use the Hillview funds to leverage the grant application?
Yes, if we were to get the grant, we would have to come up with 74,000, which the additional monies would come from, LUC and recreation funding.
So you'd be looking for a matching grant, basically.
Right.
Mr. Yule?
Yes, Mr. Chair, as the LUC liaison, I'd be more than glad to present this at town meeting, but I also want to take this opportunity to, one of the fundraisers that we're talking about is the Commissioners' Cup going to be at the Hillview Country Club October 3rd, starting at 1 p.m. They are still accepting applications for sponsors, and we're still accepting participants. So if anybody's interested in playing a good game of golf and a good golf course with a good cause.
I don't know about a good game of golf.
What?
Right.
I've never played a good game of golf.
I know. Mr.
Mr. Chair, I just need clarification. The intent of this article is not to request for additional funds?
Right.
It's to be able to accept,
Okay, thank you.
to accept the grant if we were to get it, and if we don't, then we will proceed.
Would you need additional authorization to use any funds that are available for LUC or in the recreation revolving account to match? Would you need town meeting's authorization in any way?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, just double check, because if it is, then we just
because
include
we've
them.
done, like, as we've just completed the bathroom projects and whatnot, so we do intend to, if we don't get the grant, move forward, but maybe not as grand a scale, but,
Okay. Thank you, Ken.
Ken, you gonna give a
I'm sorry.
presentation?
What?
Are you gonna give a short presentation on this at the town meeting? Are you planning on it?
we can, I mean.
Who's doing it? Is Jeff doing it?
Well, I would
No,
think the
well,
What about
article-
recommendation?
The thing is, he's gonna read the motion.
Yeah.
Right, and then, you know, town moderator will make decisions as to who he acknowledges to come up and
We'll be
speak
available
for or
for
against
answering any
the
questions that
article.
may come to the floor.
Okay, good.
At town meeting, okay?
That's really what I was looking for.
Okay,
I will
so,
be available for that, and there will be members of recreation.
so Jeff is handling that.
Bob?
What? Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am?
My name is Gerald Rinaldi, Bishop's Way. Is this pavilion something that's big enough that it will generate money, like a permit fee, but someone were to have a birthday party there? Is there?
Yeah, right now, we're talking about trying to put in a 60 by 40 pavilion. Essentially, it would be on to the far side of the septic mound that was just recently added, and so that it'll oversee the fields as well. And there's a good chance that that would be another, just as the gazebo area is rented out now, or the area by the tree, picnic grove area there is rented out. This would be another facility that would be able to, and also with the addition now of the permanent bathrooms, then it's in hope that it would generate more revenue and attract a little bit different types of activities down there to go along with the ones that are already there, so, yeah. And it would also provide shelter for folks watching the sports or where, if we get a sudden rain or whatever, so.
Yeah, and it'd be handicap accessible as well.
All set?
Thank you.
I'm gonna go back to Article 1, which is here and act on the reports of town officers. Anyone here have, planning on making a presentation or report? I guess town moderator, as he usually does, will modify that. I will make that motion. Start the meeting off. The operating budget, these are amendments to the operating budget, and basically, they're to add to police salaries, line 30 and line 33, fire salaries, $40,000. This is the amount of money that we had cut in the June budget and had committed to put this money back in the October town meeting. This is to be funded by money from the FEMA money, which is the other day we hadn't received. Mr. Belkonis?
We received a partial reimbursement on the FEMA. I'll wait to hear from Dick in terms of whether we receive it in totality. In addition to the two items that you see here, there were two items that were in the capital improvement plan that were small capital. The finance committee suggested that they be moved over to this article. That would be $7,500 for a power lift for the police department, which would be police department small capital. The second item is $5,000 small capital for the library for a copy machine. The source of funding on both of those would be free cash.
Okay, so those are just being moved over from Article 4. And I don't think anyone on the board, this is the idea of small cap is generally funded in the operating budgets. And since our operating budgets, at least in June timeframe, you know, we're down to no extra money for small capital items that were being proposed to be purchased out of free cash in October. And Mr. Belkonis had suggested that they be put in the capital improvement plan. The finance committee has taken issue with it based on the fact that, you know, they've set some guidelines for capital and small capital, and therefore have suggested that we move it to Article 2. Will we already have it in the warrant?
We're gonna have specific line items referenced in the omnibus article.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so,
So you're
I
saying
would-
the lift?
Yeah, the lift, that was a different article. It wasn't in Article 4, was it?
Yeah, it wasn't, not that I remember.
No, it's not. It's not in Article 4.
What?
It's later on.
lift.
It is.
It
When
is-
I presented the capital plan 2 weeks ago, the lift was included in Article 4.
Yes, it was,
Yeah, but
but
it's
not
not-
in this one, not in the one that's printed.
Oh, because I've already moved it.
Okay.
I've already moved it.
He had already taken it out and put it.
I'm sorry, I seem to be a little confused here.
Including but not limited to. So
the
this,
language is fine.
yeah, so
In
the
other
language
words,
is fine, which allows
The
us to
motion
with it right up
will
to
be
town meeting.
correct.
You're correct.
Right, but Article 2 should have 2 bullets added, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Motion will, motion will.
Okay.
So,
I knew what you were doing, I was just trying to help
Who would-
Jeff out.
Steve? you wanna
Thank
do
you,
this?
Mike.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Steve is gonna do Article 2. Any questions on Article 2 from anybody? Prior year's bills. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I don't have it. I'm actually jumping ahead on Article 3, but
We're going to hear from Mr. Cannavaro regarding FEMA reimbursement? Or
Oh,
is
yes.
that gonna happen Monday night?
we're hopeful. We've received a partial reimbursement to date. The largest cost was for personnel costs incurred, so we have not received those funds as of this date.
I thought you mentioned something that you.
No, I'm waiting for him to give me the okay, hopefully before Monday, that FEMA has sent us.
Oh, and on the recommendation, we said we're gonna make that at town meeting. You were concerned about that. Where do you stand on that now?
I'd like to wait.
You
Town
wanna wait?
meeting.
Okay,
Yep.
we'll wait until town meeting. We'll wait until the evening of town meeting.
That's for what?
Okay, prior year's bills, we are recommending it, Mr. Belkonis. What were the,
$938.73. The source of funding would be free cash, and it's to cover medical bills for disabled public safety personnel.
and the number again, 19?
$938.73.
I'll do that one, Bob.
You'll do that one too,
Yeah.
that way, okay. And then capital improvement plan, Mr. Bell, let's see, who's gonna read?
Show me
Can I
the
get-
two?
Can I give you an update on it
You do?
before you
Yes.
give it? You may have seen in the paper today some discussion in the Globe relative to the state sales tax cut, and there's some concern that that could pass